How's it going?
Going all right.
We're out a little more than we should be. Okay, let me see the hammer you used. The hammerhead, see the hammer? See how it's rounded like that? And which dolly? This dolly's good on the inside, but this hammer is not so good on the outside.
The cast members of American Restorations captured the hearts of fans for many years with their skills and creativity in restoring classic items, from vintage vehicles to old rusty vending machines. The show, led by Rick Dale and his ambitious team, took viewers on a journey behind the scenes of the restoration shop in Las Vegas. No doubt, the cast included talented personalities who brought something the fans loved to show. But since the camera stopped rolling, many fans want to know what the cast members are doing now. So join us as we roll back the curtains on where the cast members of American Restorations are and what they're doing today. Born in 1970 in Newport Beach, California, Rick Dale is an American antique restorer and a TV personality who grew up in a struggling family. At 13, his family moved to Boulder City, Nevada, where he spent his teenage years. His love for restoration is somewhat hereditary, as his father is a professional racer who also doubles as a restorer. Growing on the streets of Las Vegas, a hub for unique items and antiques, it's no surprise that Rick embraced restoration from a young age. To seal his passion for the craft, his father bought him a broken bicycle to restore. The restoration process of the bicycle was what kickstarted his interest and paved the way for his future endeavors. Rick attended a neighborhood school in Nevada, and after his high school education, he dropped out to pursue his interest in restoration. With no certifications or official training in restoration, Rick's journey to becoming an expert in the industry was more of trial and error. Eventually, he was able to stand alone and fend for himself doing construction work. Around the same time, he attempted to establish business ventures multiple times, but failed on each attempt. However, he noticed a growing trend in the sale of antique cola machines, and as fate would have it, being an antique restorer himself, he had one that needed a little bit of repair to meet the selling standard. Utilizing the skills his father taught him, he restored the machine to a perfect condition, took it to the market, and sold it for triple the amount it had cost him to repair it. And as a savvy businessman, Rick doubled down on the opportunity, traveling far and wide to source for items to restore and sell. He kept working on the newly found opportunity for a decade before the worst happened. His first wife filed for a divorce, and that led to a drastic turn of events in his life. He felt let down and even had to close down his shop to overcome his pains. After some months of feeling sober, Rick was ready to start his business all over. He bought a small space and converted it into mini workshops for his restoration business. The small space, however, wasn't enough for his workload, and he had to work on some antiques at his home. Rick also found love with a new partner, and together they rebuilt his restoration business, eventually opening a bigger shop. Fortunately, his new shop created a better opportunity for him on Pawn Stars. Although Rick wasn't a cast member on the TV show, he caught the attention of the team when one of them saw his advertisements in the paper. They approached him thinking he wanted to pawn the advertised item, but Rick struck a more lucrative deal with them. With his deal, Rick earned a spot on the show as a pawn evaluator, who would educate pawn shop owners about the origins and worth of their items, while also restoring the items. Rick's brilliance on Pawn Stars led to a spin-off, American Restorations, with Rick as the host. The show aired from 2010 to 2016, before it eventually packed up after its 7th season, and since the show ended, Rick has moved on to focus on other aspects of life. He allegedly still runs his restoration shop, but his main focus is now on his new business, My Best Font Forward Creations, a laser cut and embroidery company. Away from his business ventures, Rick in his free time sharpens his writing skills, and he now has a book, Classic Soda Machines, for sale on Amazon. But as we all know, many hands make light work, and each hand shines brighter in its own place. Rick didn't do all the work on the show alone. He was strongly supported by his wife, Kelly Dale, who was born in New York. And just like her husband, she grew up on the streets of Las Vegas, Nevada. Kelly developed a strong interest in business and real estate from a young age, and this led her to pursue a career in real estate, ultimately becoming a licensed realtor in Las Vegas. Somehow, Kelly crossed paths with Rick some years after his divorce, and their mutual respect for each other led them down the aisle some years after establishing the restoration shop. While everyone knows Rick as the main star of the show, it was Kelly's entrepreneurship spirit that kept the show running for several years. years. Behind the scenes, she handled the payroll, financial reports, customer service, marketing, and the business's social media presence. Since the producers slammed the brakes on the show, Kelly has picked up a few new interests. She's now switched back to her first career, and just last year, she celebrated being a Clover realtor on her Instagram page. And in her spare time, she takes time to attend car shows with her husband. Aside from the couple, Rick's son, Tyler Dale, is another prominent cast member on the show. Born in 1993 in Boulder City, Nevada, Tyler grew up around his father's restoration shop, where he quickly grabbed the basics of restoration. From an early age, he showed interest in working with metals and engines, which made him a perfect fit for the family's business. As he got older, he became more involved in his father's shop before he officially joined after American Restoration's kickstarted. On the show, Tyler played a crucial role, learning the ropes under his father's tutelage. Viewers loved watching him paint and assist his dad with the repairs, and since the show ended, Tyler has continued his father's legacy in the restoration field. On his Instagram bio, it's evident he's now a full-time metal fabricator. So far, he has worked on several projects, including a 1965 Ford F-100, a Chevy C10 flatbed, machines, rocket slides, and what have you. Some years ago, he shared on his Facebook page that he was making a custom sheet metal bumper filler panel for a client who wanted it to be a one-piece bumper. Away from work, Tyler takes some time to rest and attend car shows, even featuring on some podcasts for car shows. People often mix things when it comes to Bradley Otterman and Tyler Dale. The two are stepbrothers, with Tyler being Rick's son from his previous relationship and Bradley being Kelly's son from her previous marriage. Just like his stepbrother, Bradley joined American Restorations the same way Tyler did, but his job on the show was slightly different. He became popular for occupying the role no one wants, picking trashed items, but with time, he became fans' favorite for his sandblasting and soda blasting skills. After the show ended, Bradley decided to focus on his skills and has since bought a failing mobile sandblasting business in Las Vegas. With that, he set up his own business, CleanWorks Mobile Media Blasting, which has turned out to be a huge success, comprising 3 blasting rigs. On the personal side of things, Bradley is now married to his long-term girlfriend, Steph, and they both share 3 adorable children. Up next is a familiar face on American Restorations. Born and raised alongside Rick, Ron Dale shared his brother's passion from a young age. Growing up, they both worked on projects together, including the first bicycle Rick repaired. Although he started his TV career with an episode on Pawn Stars titled Time Machines, he eventually joined Rick on American Restorations when the show gained prominence. His initial role on the show was to make sure the shop doesn't lack supplies so restoration of cars can go on smoothly, but as time goes, he started assisting his brother with major repairs. Since the camera stopped rolling, Ron has shifted his focus on personal restoration business. Even though he keeps a lower profile than most of the cast members, he allegedly runs a custom-built bicycle company now. Just like Ron Dale, other cast members like Kyle Astorga, Cowboy, Kelly Mayer, and Rennie Shell are living a quiet life and focusing on their families.